They left the dishes on the table, the coffee still sitting in the cups. And then 10,000 people vanished off this mountain, and almost none of them ever came back. This is Bodie, California. And what happened here doesn't make sense. Not really. Not even to the people who study it, because towns don't die like this. There's a road that most people will never drive. It climbs past the tree line, past the last gas station for 60 miles, up into the high desert of the eastern Sierra, where the air gets thin and the wind never really stops. And at the end of that road, there's a town where no one lives. No one has for a very long time. Once, just once, it was one of the deadliest places in the American West. 10,000 people, 65 saloons, and a killing almost every single day. Then they all left. Not slowly, not the way towns usually die. They left their tools on the workbenches, school books still open to the last lesson, like they walked out one afternoon and never returned. Today, Bodie sits exactly as they left it, frozen, waiting. Before we go up that mountain, if you like stories about the places America tried to forget, take a second to subscribe and leave a like. It's a small thing, but it's what keeps these stories getting told. All right, let's keep going. The state of California has a name for what they do here. They call it arrested decay. They don't fix anything. They don't rebuild. They just keep it from falling down, suspended, somewhere between standing and gone. So when you walk these streets, you're not looking at a ruin. You're looking at a single afternoon in 1880 that somehow never ended. The curtains still hang in the windows, and the wind still moves them. Stand still long enough for the wind to drop, and you'll notice the thing most visitors try hard not to think about. It's quiet here. Too quiet. Because a town this loud, this alive, this violent, a town like that doesn't just go silent on its own. Something has to silence it. So let me take you inside. Let me show you what's still standing on this mountain and what happened to the people who came here certain they'd strike it rich, and why so many of them never made it back out. This is Bodie. There's a story people out here still tell. A little girl back east was told by her family they were moving to Bodie. That night she opened her diary and wrote just 4 words. "Goodbye, God, I'm going to Bodie." That was the town's reputation. A child thought she was leaving God behind to go there, and she wasn't far wrong. But to understand how bad it got, you have to go back to the beginning. Because it started with one man, and it killed him before the town even had a name. 1859, a prospector named W.S. Bodie found flecks of gold in the dirt up here. He never lived to see what he started. He died in a blizzard that same winter, trying to make it back through the snow. They named the town after him. Then they misspelled it, B-O-D-I-E, and it stuck. For almost 20 years, Bodie was nothing. A few miners, a few shacks. And then, in 1876, a mine collapsed and revealed a vein of gold worth millions. That's when the world came running. But the gold wasn't the deadliest thing on this mountain. That came with the people. Within 3 years, this empty slope became a city. 10,000 souls, maybe more. They came from America, Mexico, China, Europe, all chasing the same dream, all certain this was where their luck would finally turn. Main Street ran a full mile. Banks, hotels, a newspaper, and the saloons, 65 of them, open all night, every night. Bodie didn't sleep. Bodie drank and gambled and fought. And here's what that actually looked like when the sun went down. The shootings got so common, the newspaper had a phrase for it. Each morning they'd ask, "Have we a man for breakfast?" Meaning, did somebody die overnight? Usually the answer was yes. There was so little law up here that men settled things themselves, in the street, in the dark, behind the saloons, where the wind covered the sound, and all of it fed one place, the one part of Bodie that never stopped growing. The cemetery. It filled faster than the town could bury them. So they divided it, the respectable dead on the hill, inside the fence, and everyone else, the gamblers, the outlaws, the women no church would touch, outside, on the far slope, in unmarked ground. Some of those graves are still out there. You can see the dips in the earth where the ground settled. No names, no stones, just the wind and whatever's left underneath. But the dead aren't the strangest thing about Bodie. What's strange is what happened to the people who tried to leave with more than they came with. Nothing gold lasts forever. By the 1890s, the gold was running thin. The big mines closed. The crowds thinned out, packed up, and chased the next boomtown and the next. Always chasing. By the 1940s, only a few families were left, and then even they were gone. But here's the part no one really has an answer for. Bodie didn't get looted. It didn't get stripped for scrap the way ghost towns always do. It just sat there, untouched, for decades, as if something about the place kept people from taking what wasn't theirs. And that brings us to the thing the rangers up here don't like to talk about. They call it the Curse of Bodie. The story goes like this. Take anything from Bodie, a nail, a bottle, a piece of wood, even a single rock, and misfortune follows you home. Bad luck, accidents, loss. It clings to you and it doesn't let go until you send back whatever you took. Now, is it real? I can't tell you that. Nobody can. But I can tell you this, and it's a fact you can check for yourself. The park office at Bodie receives packages, regularly, from all over the country. Inside are the things people took. A rusted bolt, a shard of glass, a stone off the ground, and with them, letters, real letters, people writing to apologize, begging the town to take it back, describing the string of terrible things that started happening the moment they left. The rangers have a name for it. They call it the bad luck mail, and they have boxes of it. Most of the returned items can't even be put back where they belong. So they just sit in the office, a pile of small, ordinary objects that people were desperate to get rid of. Maybe it's guilt. Maybe it's coincidence. Maybe people just need something to blame when life goes wrong. Or maybe a town that saw that much greed, that much blood, that many men who came here certain they deserved more than they had. Maybe a town like that learns to hold on to what's its own. Today, Bodie stands silent on its mountain. The wind still moves the curtains. The dust still settles on tables that were set for a dinner served 140 years ago. And every year a few more letters arrive from people who walked these streets, who picked something up, who told themselves it was harmless, and who learned the hard way that some places you visit, but you don't take anything with you, because in Bodie the town always gets it back. So now I'll leave you with the only question that matters. If you stood on that street with no one watching, and a small piece of history lay right there at your feet, would you take it? Tell me in the comments. And be honest. And if this place got under your skin the way it gets under mine, subscribe and give this one a like. There are more towns like Bodie out there, more places that were left behind, and more stories that never made it off the map. Stay with me, and I'll take you to every one of them.